Holy fuck. Okay, 7 people are already in. Jesus. Hello. Wait, why are my system sounds on? They're not supposed to be on. Holy shit. Oh god. Well. Let's test run the audio. It's been a bit, so I don't know how well this is running right now. Suppose we're about to find out. Happy New Year's. Hello. Okay, we've made it down to 7 people. That is so much more manageable for an impromptu stream. This is actually running? I think. I am glad to hear it. We'll figure it out. My internet has basically been asked for like a year-ish, half a year. Yeah, no, it's closer to a year now. And it's supposed to be fixed around this year, maybe mid of the year. But it has been running pretty well in the past few, like, weeks? Maybe? So maybe I can be optimistic. Maybe I can hope that everything's fine now. Um, I've not been like daring to stream anything for a while now. Hello. Hi. I hope everything is alright. Here we go. Let's. There's like background ambience. I can turn on background ambience. I don't even remember if my settings are like good enough for this stuff. They should be. There should be like a what is it, like a noise cancelling thing. But just in case, I'll just like mute myself every now and then just to make sure that you don't accidentally catch a shit ton of background stuff. Hello. Oh my god. Maybe you should draw. Hey, you can probably just grab like a sketchbook. Brain fried from all the potato salad and fish from holidays. That sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. the fuck are herons even? Aren't they like frog eaters? Frog eating things. Oh, hello! How's it going? I haven't had too many people chatting it, so I still don't know if the mic works as it should. But hello, if you can hear me, I hope you are well. Ooh, you're saying the volume's kind of low? Let me check. Because it shouldn't be too low. wouldn't quite know how to fix that. Maybe I'm not like speaking loud enough. I'm not sure. Hmm. And thank you. Can I ask the size of your canvas? God. Ooh. Let me quickly check. I'm very zoomed in right now, so it's sort of meant to be pixelated, but 1 second. Hmm. I've mostly been doing light-in work over the past like month, so I'm sort of getting out of the rendering habit a bit. But at least with my work, I don't really have to abide by any particular style directions, which Definitely helps. I get to basically wind down a little bit. And I'm glad the stream is running, though. I haven't tried this in a bit. Beep. G-Rex is here. Hello, Five Fleet Pigeon. How's it going? There we go. The everyday is Halloween gift. Which one's that? There are a lot of varying "this is Halloween." You're gonna have to elaborate on that one. I think I'm not familiar with the explicit reference. So sorry if the screen occasionally flickers, just the program being weird when I tap in and out of it. I'm glad you like the little avatar. It is a replacement because I couldn't find the file for my original. This is like a complete placeholder. It it's for a different project altogether, but I guess I have it and it does help for like the whole emotion thing, and I have all these little emotions to skip through. So I'm glad you like it. Groove Build Annie? Looked him up. He's pretty cute. That's just a raptor. That's just a whole ass dinosaur. Like a tiny one, but it is. I like him. I wonder if he pays taxes. He doesn't look like the type. Jirix, if you can hear me like in the stream, I can elaborate a bit more on the thought process, because I was the only thought process that went into the more extra aspects of the design was just me thinking about what sort of theming is around herons, and because they're like so particularly like adept to catching fish and frogs and shit like that, I just thought like, oh, I can make it look like little like the kind of water surfacey type effect, but make it not actual water, but little like basically threads that happen to achieve the same effect. That was the entire thought process. I just wanted it to look like it was almost water, but that it isn't actually. That's the whole thing. I went heron is water bird, so make look like water. Speaking of dinosaurs, do you consider ever making adopts based on some? I feel like you would make some insanely good stuff, especially with species like Spinosaurus. I have occasionally made dinosaur designs. Very, very, very rarely. And usually it more so goes like into a fantasy type monster deal, because I am terribly frightened of the paleo community. If I even draw a single muscle off, they're going to come for me. So my only safe bet is to make fantasy dinosaurs. Like, the moment I already apply fantasy logic to a dinosaur, people tend to be a lot less picky about what you're actually doing, which is nice. But I can't. I'm so scared of misrepresenting the dinosaurs. So we'll see. This might be a silly question, but I love your art and have been inspired to start making adopts this year, but I don't know where to start. Do you have any advice? My main advice for anyone making adopts, because it was advice that I feel like I've been repeating a lot for other people because I feel like it worked out for me really well. Make designs that are hard for you to give away. Make designs that you would love, because trying to appeal to an audience that you cannot relate to will not make the designs feel very real. I think it's always a good decision to try and make something that you would find appealing, because the more appealing you would find it, the more appealing somebody else might as well. Make something that you feel like you would have ideas for, and I think that is a very good way to go about designing anything. Because it's very easy to just go, oh, I'll just make a general design. I'm sure this community or these types of people will like that. No, make something that you don't want to give away, and then you have to give it away. Basically make a child that you love that then somebody else can look at and go, I would love that too. I think that's my best advice for you. Nobody really knows how dinos looked exactly. Feels a bit silly to be so obsessive about precision when there's none. I mean, that's not exactly correct. As somebody who is a little bit of a dinosaur nerd, there are like full-on well-preserved dinosaur fossils and even I think like mummies now that display them rather well. But I think I can understand why people are so precise about the way that they want dinosaurs to look, given that every miscommunication of their anatomy possibly enables further like miseducation about what they used to be like and such. And with a lot of the paleo community is ultimately about trying to right the wrongs of your interpretations from, you know, a lot of misinterpreted history of these animals. So I can see why people are so particular about it. But yeah, I tend to just, if I make dinosaur designs, I'm probably just going to go very hard fantasy with it to make sure that I don't have to be too accurate with it, because I still like doing artistic interpretation, but I also understand why people very much prefer to stay as real as they can with their depictions. Yeah, I'm wishing you all the best, Nix. I hope it goes well. What do horse legs look like? They have a lot less. Haley agreed on the adopt advice. When you're selling an adopt, it's going to end up with just one person owning it. It's better to hook one or a few people hard rather than spreading out over many. I agree with that. I don't think my adopts would do as well if I was trying to cater to as many people as possible. The reality is that, especially if you want to do auctions, which is what I will always recommend for like custom designs, you just need 2 or 3 people to really like the idea, and for that you're allowed to be very, very specific or even very niche with what you're creating. Just make something that's good. It doesn't have to be good for everyone, it just has to be really good according to a standard that you've set for yourself. And sometimes the best thing you can really do, especially if you're struggling to come up with ideas, is to just make something that you like. Make something that you think is cool, and that's good enough. That way you're drawing something you enjoy, and people are buying something that they enjoy, and plus you are encouraging people to find you based on your tastes in art. So that if you ever don't post adoptables, but rather your personal art, it will not feel strange to them or alien. It'll just be the same stuff in a different context. I was thinking about some theropod that had to do with red, might be the one from July. I did make a dinosaur adopt, like T-Rex-ish king thing. There was some like red corruption and then some gold, like a little bit of a night theme with it. Like a corrupt king, I think, was it? Yeah, Corrupted Royal Rex, I think. That was the one. I remember that one. A friend of mine bought that one, actually. So I still see that design around. Do you add line art after you build the shape or of your character, or kind of in between? I swap it around. I like to make sure I keep my art process not too repetitive, because I get terribly bored with repetitive processes, so I change it up every now and then. Sometimes I add the line art last, sometimes I do the line art first. It all depends. I'm just trying to make sure that if I get bored of a certain part of the process, which sometimes just is line art, I don't force myself to do it. Because very often I will find myself in front of a canvas and go, I want to draw, but I don't want to do this part that is expected to go first, so I'll just skip it. It's, I think, a very good way to also prevent things like art block, to make sure that whatever the process for your art is, you allow yourself to not do that process from every now and then and just go about it a bit differently. You could join in drawing, it would be fun. I'm sick of my own process as well, and I hate that I rely on the lines so much, so it's fun to see other artists building shapes first and vice versa. Yeah, no, I think even just for painting purposes and shading purposes and composition, everything, it's easy to feel like there's only one way to go about your art, especially once you've secured a process that you're relatively confident in. But I will always recommend just every now and then throwing everything to the wind and starting a bit differently. Because that way you never really feel paralyzed with your art, because if ever you can't do a certain part of it or you want to change a certain part of it, it doesn't stop you from drawing, it just stops you from doing that part of it. And you just skip over it, and you just develop shape language. It's a very good way to teach yourself shape language as well, I think. Yeah. No, like, I think I had a whole phase where, for a couple of years straight, I was just doing line art. Like the typical process of sketch, line art, color, etc. And the amount of just, like, shape strength that I was actively losing by only doing that process, because I wasn't thinking in greater shapes, I was just going through the motions. And yeah, no, it's a sure way to just get worn out with your own work, because eventually you'll look at your work that you have developed a process for and go, I don't know what's wrong with this. And I don't know how to fix it, because the process is the same and the process doesn't fix the issue. I know with art it's easy to go for the quality expectation, but sometimes it's just get too ask yourself how you can make this look better. And even just like the part of adding layers, if ever you don't like something, add a new effect, add a new layer, try something new out, is something that I have to continuously remind myself of while rendering and painting. It's easy to forget that you can make whatever changes you want at any part of the process. There's no requirement that says you can't edit this drawing anymore because you've already done that part of the drawing. And I think sometimes separating your drawing process into way too many specific stages can paralyze you when, for example, you notice halfway into coloring or shading that there's a problem in the line art. People are more prone to looking at that problem and going, I can't go all the way back to fix that, I'll just leave it. If you don't allow yourself to just make a new layer and paint all over it. I think it's good to be in touch a little bit with your own ideas rather than your canvas. You don't owe your canvas to stay consistent. If it looks good at the end, it looks good at the end. I tend to share the brush settings, I just haven't put them out in a little bit, I think. I don't use too many. I think I must just use, like, 2. One for general painting over, and one for my sketching. I can send you both if you want. Okay, I hope you rest well, 5 Fleet Pigeon. That's a whole title. But yeah, Rev, if you want, I can very easily just send you like a screenshot or something if you're on Discord. Oh, if you're looking for flow, you might want to look at the stabilizer. That does make a big difference. I can probably just post some screenshots of the current brushes I have. 1 second. I can just put them in the general chat. Let me quickly. There we go. I put them in the general chat. They should be easy to, like, replicate. I don't know how to upload side brushes. I'd have to do that, but I don't think they're too fancy. I think they're just, like, a slightly modified version of the base brush. So, I don't imagine you'll have too much trouble just recreating the setting. I have no Paint to Sai experience, but I think I might start using it, or even just Clip Studio. Yeah, no, I have no idea how good Clip Studio is. I haven't tried it myself, but I will say Sai is a very good program if you don't like things being complicated, because I think Sai has the benefit of being a very straightforward program, which is something I've always very much enjoyed compared to a lot of the like Photoshop level programs where there's so many settings and it's very easy to get overwhelmed when you're just looking for one specific little setting. I think it relieves a lot of the pressure of drawing for me when the program is very simple. And also, otherwise, if you're looking for free routes, Krita is a good like introduction to more complicated programs that are free. Sai is a beautiful and perfect program. I don't think I'm ever going to give that up. Also, I love how whenever I click a number, this cat face changes. So I am going through the motions with this thing. There we go. Here, I'm gonna be the angry cat now. I should really find the file for the other, like, little avatar I made sometime. I feel like I can do more with this, but also I really like how it looks right now. I don't know. We could add some sparkle. Sai, especially Sai 2, is a great program that is incredibly user-friendly. The biggest downside with it is probably the fact it doesn't have hard mode. It's dark mode. Well, I guess it also doesn't have hard mode, given how user-friendly it is. Yeah, no, if you like Procreate but are trying to swap over to some other programs, I think you might absolutely like it. Yeah, there is a tutorial on DeviantArt for it. I remember looking it up, saving it in my notes, and then never following up on it. I should really get started on that, but I also know it would throw my brain so hard, because Sai has not changed its layout for so long. But it would make me look pretty cool, wouldn't it? If I got dark mode for Sai. I really want to put stars on this bitch, but I also just shouldn't call him a bitch. He's a bird. He's not even a mammal. Good evening. It's cold as fuck where I am. Yes, here too. It is very snowy. It's lovely. I think I saw the tutorial, but I think something didn't work. Like, you could have dark layered, but some things couldn't change, didn't look right. I'm not sure anymore. It's so cold my toes are trying to get a divorce from my feet. Oof, you should put some socks on. Put a sweater on those dogs. I wanted to keep these designs more brief, so I'm just gonna save this one as here. Oh, well, this brush looks terrible, actually. Hair run. Here we go. Save this before I forget. Alright, let me have a look. I mean, dogs are pretty cool. And so are cats. It makes sense. A lot of people really like dogs and cats. Why wouldn't they make a bunch of characters based on them? Alright, let me see. What other suggestions that we have? What the fuck is this? Periton? Periton? Oh, fucking creature. Somebody asked for a griffin. Weevil. Okay. Let's see if we can make like, can a weevil be turned into a griffin technically? Like if I really tried, could I technically, like a weevil is really hard to turn into like a big creature and Man, this is, I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm going to try. I can try. I'm an artiste. I can do this, dude. Okay. Here. Oh, he looks silly. Okay. He need like the 3 legs, right? He's not even like a beetle, isn't he? He's like something else entirely. They're like their own thing. He's like, it's giving a little bit Plague Doctor, honestly. He does look like he has fur, I'm going to give you that. And we already have like long beak themes, we might be able to just like... He has a lot more of a like big ol' head. I'm just making an ibis. This is just an ibis. Okay. Okay, we can combo this with Griffin somehow. This can be a Griffin. This can be like a... I mean, Weevils have 3 limbs. Like 3 pairs of limbs. Griffins have 3 pairs of limbs. They're basically the same animal. Oh wait, a stag beetle dragon would go so hard actually. You're gonna have to hold that idea until I know if I can do this. Oh my god. Okay. What's it? Weevils cannot fly, they just crawl, right? They're just like... I guess we did have somebody being like fantasy humanoid. Evil Griffin. Yeah, like a ground. I mean, what's a? I was just thinking, like, what's a ground-born like bird, and then it's just like chicken. And I think chickens were supposed to fly at some point. I guess there are like what is it? How does the word escape me? Ostrich. It was an ostrich. Kiwi as well. Oh, kiwi is so much closer. You're so much smarter than me. Fuck. Okay. Let me... He is a much more complicated shape, for sure. Do we make him animalistic or humanoid? Animal or humanoid? I was gifted a griffin adopt a few months ago. It's one of my favorite designs, and I might one day request more art of it when your comms are open again. Oh yeah, I think I might have seen you post about that. That's really cool. I hope you like them. It's good to see them all finding their homes sooner or later. Technically, okay. Kiwi, my brain went to like raptor. Like, because they already have like the big limbs. This is just a Hollow Knight character, okay. I do not know if I will be able to find a buyer for this, but this is fine. I'm trying. I'm going to try to make this work. This is fine. This is still fun. Yeah, no, for sure insects are a challenge to try. I know centipedes I can always like autofill into stuff. But anything outside of that, yeah, no, you have to think a bit. It's just, I'm not particularly sure how big the insect love is in this community. I really like bugs myself, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Plague Doctor. I'm thinking of like, I don't know who here played Monster Hunter Wilds, but there's like this poison mosquito themed Plague Doctor. I'm thinking about that guy. Like this monster that looks a little bit like a Plague Doctor, and they have like a full on like, I think fashion, cyber fashion-ish armor set based on it. That looks very Plague Doctor-ish. That is a very cool design. Yeah, Rumpupolo. Dude, Rumpupolo is awesome. Oh, you're scared of bugs? I'm sorry. They're very cool. I can imagine it's quite sad to be afraid of such a common creature. Perhaps one day you shall be getting over your fear. I'm rooting for you. Challenge is a good word for this. Okay. How can I think about this? What's a good thinking about this? They're functioning on very different dimensions. Oh my god. Okay, let me see. I like the reds on this one, so I'm gonna just take some of those. To be fair, he does have a distinct shape. You could spot him on Who's That Pokemon. At least from the side. Wasps, hornets, and roaches are still a hell no. Hornets are not that aggressive. With wasps, apparently it depends on where, but if you are in Europe, wasps are pretty chill there too. You can kind of, just like bees, you can just like pick them up with your hand and put them outside when they are in your room. You can just like put them over and they'll be like, oh my god, thanks. We actually have a wasp nest in our attic. It's quite big. It's very cute. I don't think we see them flying down into our flat at all, but the wasp nest is there and it's still being used. We've lived here for like a year now, so it's pretty cool. But to be fair, I've heard that apparently Australian wasps are very aggressive. Majestic shape. Thank you, Rum. They wanted me to draw a Weevil, so I'm trying to do that now. As you can see, I'm succeeding. Probably. This feels very ambitious for last thing of the day. Yeah, no, I was talking earlier about how he reminds me of an ibis. Because I think the ibis also... Ibis? Ibis? Do you say ibis? The ibis had like was used as a mask for a deity. And that one also had like a very kind of curved beak shape. I'm gonna give him a little bit of plating. I've decided he looks better with it. Yeah, I was definitely thinking about Hollow Knight. I mean, hey, who else has very cool bug designs, you know? I'd like to think that Hollow Knight brought the bugs to the common folk, to the non-bug liking folk, and made them like bugs a little more than they used to. We're converting them one by one. I have no idea what my idea for the back cape was. I think I just wanted to give him some form of, like, shape, but also it's not really a necessary one, I suppose. You can, like... You could technically have just, like, a little sharp butt. Like this. I don't know, are we feeling with or without cape? Does he look better with or without? You like bug butt or without bug butt? What does the jury say? They're not terrible. I can imagine it being like an embalming funeral helper in an Egyptian setting, where it helps by sucking all the blood from the corpse, lol. I like your imagination, I fully agree. Long triangle cape is now regal. It is more regal. Do you want regal or not, Rem? Make a decision or I'm going to have to go over there and force you to make one, okay? I'm going to have to hunt you down. Make him fancy. Okay. We are giving him the regal cloak thing.
Et si je meurs demain, je ne pourrai que dire merci de m'avoir donné tout ce temps.
He can go up a little bit more. He can do with a bit more canvas space. Cape 100%. Alright, we're going cape. He has a funny butt cape. Maybe you can get a little bit more cape like here, but that might make his shape too complicated. This is still fine, I can get away with this. cape is made by its wings. Ooh. But weevils don't have wings, but I guess we could give them like fake wings. That could be pretty fun. Pretty sure weevils don't have wings. I could be gaslighting you all right now, but pretty sure they were flightless little buggers. But it can still have like the wing sort of feel to it, which is nice. I really like the cloak kind of coming from beneath the wood thing. Status symbol rank identification system between weevils. Oof. Everybody's on fire today. What if we make it blue? Like a really, really like bright royal blue. I've been wanting to work more with that fucking color because I know I'm avoiding it usually. Like, it doesn't have to be... What's a fun... blue or purple? Yeah. I'm trying to think of what a nice pattern would be. What sort of patterns would weevils appreciate? Oh, maybe the blue cloak could be a symbol of royal helper of some kind. Yeah, like a little advisor. Maybe. Royal advisor type stuff. Maybe he's a little prince, who knows? Yeah, no, I know I tend to go for red and gold too much, so I try to deviate where I can, and I know blue is also a royal color, so can try at least. Now he looks a bit spooky. He looks almost like a bit of a, like, sci-fi Star Wars style character, honestly. Pretty blue eyes that turn blue when it drinks blood. Maybe he drinks blue blood. My mind's all over the place. You're doing great. I know he's more like copper than gold, really. But I really like the look of it. So I'll probably just stick to it. I gotta clean up some of this fucking sketch. It's everywhere. Okay, well, remove some of this at least. I'm surprised this is working. I was expecting myself to be so much more lost with Weevil as a prompt. I mean, he can be a bloodsucker, look at him. He's like the type of fucking niche character you'd see in like a music video that is just really abstract. That has like a one-off world building project that is vaguely implied and then you never see it again. Like this sort of like color themed music video. That's what I'm saying. Oh no, I'm having fun with this. Okay. Whoever suggested Weevil and stuck to it, thank you. I need to kill my habits. I thought it reminded me of something. I think I figured out. Did you see Gods of Egypt? I think they had a gold god form. Isn't it? Not familiar right now. Let me look it up. Maybe I can. Maybe I. Nope, have not watched that. I have no idea. It's not a good movie, but it was loud about it back when it came out because of the stacked actor roster. That sounds fun. I imagine you meant roster? Maybe? What's an actor roster? Yes, I'm being silly, don't worry about me. This is somehow working out. What the fuck? Okay. English is not my first language, so I tend to mix up words. You're good. I'm German, so, you know, no judgment on my end. English is not my first language either. going to just roughly imply the shapes for this, and I'm not going to super refine them. I don't need to figure out how this design actually makes sense. That is for whoever has to draw it again to figure out. Woohoo. Freedom for me. That is for the illustrator to suffer through, not the conceptor. Look at him, what a fella. earth is so vast. I am doing as I am. I don't know. I was expecting this to be like a, I try this and then I give up, to be so fair with you. Yeah, I think I can add a little bit more to. Can I? That weird feeling when you try something new and it works out. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. We'll see if people like want to actually buy them, but you know, it's still fun as an exercise. It's a fun concept to be sure. I had fun with it. I don't often allow myself to draw bugs because I don't expect people to care too much. It's the bug fans are a very specific little community, let's be so real. They're specific little guys. Either way, I like them. These are fun, dude. I haven't really done much concepting work in a little bit because I've done mostly like light-in work, so adopts hasn't really been on my priority for a bit. I'm glad these seem to at least be working out. There's this little corner. Maybe I'll do more bug concepts, just try it out for a bit. And I tend to just make like little bug designs mostly for personal stuff. I think he's good though. What's a good background color? Make the blue pop a bit. There we go. I think at some point I properly knew how to write cursive, and now I don't. I remember the vagueness of it. Okay. Go. There he is. Our boy cat is chasing the cursor of your stream. It's very cute. Aww. I hope he's doing alright over there. Little coffin boy. Okay. That's 2. I think that's a pretty good pile of concepts, at least for a warm-up. As a reintroduction of making those. I'm saying warm-up like I'm not going to go to bed in like now. Okay, let me... Oh. go. I think I'm done. Oof. My hand is good for a fucking rest. Oof. Thank you all for dropping by for my very impromptu stream. I'm surprised as many people dropped by, given the timing. It was delightful. Thank you, Ram. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.